speaking. Yes, I can solve your sales problem. You know where my office is, at the Spaces, right? I'll see you there soon. I'm gonna have my coffee now. Bye.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Cruz Sales Agency. Thank you for visiting my channel. Hope everyone had a great week and hope everyone's looking forward to a better week next week. In this video, what you're going to watch, I'm going to share with you 7 powerful and effective steps on how to prospect effectively. See, one of the things I've learned over the years, especially due to technology, which enhances a lot of businesses, but it also cripples a lot of people in this way. We get complacent. We try to find the easy way to generate sales. We try to find the path of least resistance. And at the end of the day, we're spending a lot of time and money and energy on things that don't work as effective. Now, the other thing that happens is people get bored with the basics. And the basics are free. You just got to apply it, and they're very powerful. And the other thing is, there's 2 things that every business is looking for: leads and sales, right? So if you learn how to prospect the right way, you're going to have a higher conversion ratio, which means you're going to have more sales, right? And you heard me say this many times. If you're not generating sales, you just have a glorified hobby. So in this video that you're about to watch, I want you to pay attention, because I'm going to go over 7 simple yet powerful steps that will help you do 2 things: target the right leads, and more importantly, converting those leads into sales, or those prospects into customers. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to keep it simple and keep it basic, but yet very powerful. If you like this video, smash the like button. Please share your comments, share your thoughts, let me know what you think. And also, if you want to follow me on my channel, just hit the subscription button below. Now, for the video. Hello everybody, welcome to the Cruz Sales Agency. I hope everyone had a fantastic week and ate a lot of turkey. I'll tell you this right now, I actually worked yesterday out of my house. It's just the way I flow, it's the way I do things. But I have a very powerful topic I'm going to share with you: salespeople, entrepreneur, and small business owners. What I'm going to share with you, it is so simple, so basic, that we intend to overlook and get bored with the basics. And you know, the basic things in life and in business and in sales is simple and free. But we get caught up into a lot of social media gimmicks and tricks and path of least resistance to generate more sales. So what I'm going to share with you in this topic today is how to prospect effectively. There's 7 powerful steps that I use all the time. I do not miss any one of these steps when I take a call to action to my prospects. Never, never. Because if you forget one, it's not going to work effectively or consistently. Before I share this topic with you, if you're watching this on my channel and you like this video, smash the like button, share your comments, share your thoughts, let me know what you think of it. And if you want to follow me, just hit the subscription button below. Now, here's the topic: how to, well, this is not writing, how to prospect effectively. I ran out of ink, so I'm going to use blue. Let me erase this. Forgive you guys. I'm going to erase it so you guys can see it. That green, even the green is going to how to prospect effectively. I may have to go to the red. Yeah, I may have to use the red. So forgive me, guys. But how to prospect effective? One of the things I've learned speaking with a lot of entrepreneurs, small business people, and salespeople, you know, every single day is, it's amazing to me how people overlook the fundamentals, how they don't focus on the right prospecting. That's why they hire me, because I know how to prospect. Because there's two things in every business. It's leads and sales, right? And you guys who know me know I say this a lot. If you're not generating sales, you don't have a business. You have a glorified hobby. Does that make sense? So I'll give you another example. A couple of weeks ago, I had a digital marketer try to solicit me for business. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But he wanted to grow my social media, get more followers and more action. I said, you know, I'm not worried about that. But I could show you how to generate more sales, because I focus on sales, not how many followers I get or I don't get. Does that make sense? So for me, it's a different mindset, a different focus. Does that make sense? So that's the important thing. Again, it's basic, it's simple, yet we overlook it. So I want to get you back on the track so you could generate more sales consistently. The number one thing is, I got my cheat sheet chart here, I always do. Number one thing is this. You have to identify who your prospects are. Let me get into that. You have to identify who your prospects are. Why is that important? There's a lot of automation, dialer leads and things like that that target nationwide. And a lot of these leads are not even qualified. A lot of these leads are not even suitable for your product or services. So you have to identify who your true prospects are and where they're at and know how to target them. For me personally, there's 5 specific industries that I target all the time. Why? Because I know their industry. I know that they need my services, not even want it. They need what I'm offering them, because at the end, it's going to help them grow, generate more sales. And that's what I've been able to do. So I identify who my true prospects are. Not everyone is my prospect, but most every industry do need my services. I know that sounds weird, right? But that's the fact. So I identify who my prospects are. You have to identify who your prospects are, because if you don't start off the right way, you're going to end up the wrong way. So it's important that you identify who they are first. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, do history search on prospects. Do history search on your prospect, not research. You see, research is when you search something and now you're going to research it. So you have to search. Once you identify who your prospects are, then you have to search about their industry, how many locations they have. You know, find out what their revenues are, how many employees they have, what kind of social media they have. That's what I do. I do search on my specific prospect or my identified prospect. I need to know as much as I can about them, because I have to be armed with that. And at the end, they appreciate that I did my search on them and understood their industry. So the 5 industries that I focus on, I know the language really well. I understand the ins and the outs. I don't need to know everything about the industry, but I need to understand the company I'm dealing with. That's important. So once you identify who your prospects are, do search on your prospects and be ready, be prepared. Okay? What's number 3? Number 3 is identify if they can use your services. Identify if they can use your services. You see, when digital marketers solicit me, again, I'm okay with that, but there's thousands and thousands of digital marketers, right? And a company doesn't need to use one particular one. They can use any one they want, right? But when you identify who your prospects are and you do search, now you have to ask yourself, do they even qualify for your services? And if they could use your services based on the search that you do about them or of them, you want to know that up front. Because when you're in the selling process, you want to have everything going a certain way. You want to know what problems they have and that you have the solution. But you want to know that before you make the initial contact, right? So, number 3 is identify if they can use your services. That's what you have to do. Again, I have 5 industries that I focus on. Do I believe every business needs my services? Yes, because every business needs to know how to get better leads and generate more sales. That's what every business is there for, right? No matter if you're a $1 billion business or a startup company, everyone's looking for new prospects and new sales, right? It's simple. Does that make sense? So that's what you have to do for number 3. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is identify if they have problems. Identify if they have problems doing your search. I know when I identify my prospects and I'm doing search, 1, I know if they're qualified for my services. Number 2, I will identify if they have problems within their business or in their sales. Now, if it doesn't show up front, the way I get to learn that is in the initial contact, I start to ask discovery questions, and then I find out if they have a problem with their sales process, whether they want to generate more sales, whether they're having a hard time getting leads. So there's certain things that are not be able to be identified during the search, but you still have to identify if they have problems. For me, when I search my clients, I look at if they have a good social media. I look if they have a good website, if it's optimized. So I do all of that stuff because that may be one of the problems that may come up, right? Does that make sense? So you have to identify if they have problems. Why? Because when you make the initial contact, you want to be able to review that they have a problem that they may or may not know or be aware of. Does that make sense? Okay, that's number 4. Hope you guys don't mind this red ink, but the other green and black, because I use it so often, I didn't have it. I didn't get the new ones. Okay, so number 5 is have and be prepared with solutions. Have and be prepared with solutions. You see, I hear a lot of people where they want to give a good story, but they don't have solutions. So they give a lot of hypotheticals and a lot of theory. No, it's about practicality. If you identify number 4, if they have any problems, you better be ready with solutions before you make the initial contact. You see, all the preparation has to happen before the event. Let me give you an example. There's no athlete, professional athlete in every sport. There's not going to be a boxer, a musician, an actor, an actress, a real estate person, anybody that are never going to be prepared before they get involved in the event. Real estate, you got to understand market analysis. There's certain things you got to know, cash flow. There's variables that go involved before you make that decision, right? So you have to be prepared. For me, I never make an initial contact or initial phone call unless I'm absolutely prepared and I'm armed with facts. And I'm armed with my rebuttals because I know what's coming. I anticipate it. I understand it. I lead into it for purposes. So you have to be prepared with real solutions. And the number one thing you always got to make sure you have is you got to have value and skills. Because I tell you right now, if you show your value up front and you give it and you show it and you share it, that's 90% of the battle. That's 90% of the solution for your prospect. I promise you that. So be prepared with solutions. Number 6. Number 6. Take a call to action. Number 6. Take a call to action. So you can't take an action unless you're prepared and you know who they are. It's like a boxer. Boxer is not gonna not train and not know how his opponents fight, right? So you got to take a call to action. The question is, what type of call to action do you take? You see, that's an interesting phrase, a call to action. Everything on social media is based upon getting prospects or those who are watching or looking at your social media to take a call to action, right? Whether it's an email, a text, a phone call, it doesn't matter. You want prospects to take action. For me personally, I don't wait for that. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I go and I always take action. It doesn't cost me nothing. See, all of this that I'm sharing with you doesn't cost you money. It just costs you time and effort and commitment and working hard at it. It's simple. And it could save you tremendous amount of money. And at the end of the day is, if you're saving money, that means your value is increasing because you're using your time wisely. So you got to take a very powerful and effective call to action. Why? Because then you create a very powerful engagement. And that engagement and that call to action has to be based on originality, sincerity, uniqueness, authentic. That's what I mean by a call to action. But you're prepared for it. I never get on the phone call unless I'm absolutely prepared. Because I got to give it 100% all the time. Because it's the process. That's the action. The process is what matters. The sale is going to happen. I'm not worried about the sale. I focus on the selling to the sale. You see, here's what I believe. Cold calling is a powerful tool. Selling is a very powerful and effective vehicle. What does a vehicle do? It's supposed to get you to your destination, right? What's the destination? Sales is the destination. That's what I believe. That's how simple I keep it. Does that make sense? So, number 7 is close the deal. Close the deal. Here's the thing is, whenever I get on the phone, I already know what the end game is. The end game is to generate a sale, right? But I don't focus on the actual sale. It's already done. What I focus on is the process to the sale. And I'm closing throughout the whole phone call. From the minute they say hello, I'm closing. And as I mentioned to you guys before, to close the deal, it takes 3 steps. It takes the opening of the call, which I call the initial. It's the most important part of the phone call. Why? Because it sets the tone to the conversation. It sets the tone to the relationship. And that's where you have a perceived value. That's where you earn respect. You earn trust. And you show your value, or when you have a perceived value. Then as you're going through the closing process or the selling process, you transition to the body of the call. The close, that's what 90% of the close happen. When the body of the close, that's when you're increasing your value. That's when you're solidifying your trust. And you're earning more respect. It's the art of storytelling. Closing the deal. That's the most valuable part. Because that's where either the sale is going to happen, you're going to close the deal or not. But you can't do that unless you take the first 6 steps. Because now you're in the event. You're playing the game, right? You're live on stage. There's no rehearsal for that, right? Does that make sense? And then the closing of the call is what I call the climax. That's the sale. That's the solidification of the selling process. Not only were they engaged and they're emotionally involved, but they were fulfilled. Why? Because you were prepared with the first 6 steps. That's how I prospect every single day. I do this every single day. It's in my blood. Why? Because it works. Does that make sense? And there is a saying, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? Does that make sense? So that's the bottom line. So these are the 7 steps, or action steps, on how to prospect effectively. And here's the bottom line. If you do that every day for 30 days, not only your engagement goes up, your conversion ratio goes up, your sales go up, your monthly cash flow increases, you multiply your annual revenue, you generate a higher profit margin for your business, and then you get a huge return on your investment. It is that simple. Does that make sense? So at the end of the day, that's what you have to do. Okay? Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for being part of the Paul Cruz Sales Agency. I hope this has been helpful. I do encourage you to take action. Again, if you like this video and you like this content, share your comment, share your thoughts, smash the like button, and if you want to follow me, just hit the subscription button below. Till we speak again, I say goodbye for now. This is Paul Cruz with Paul Cruz Sales Agency, where sales